What's up, everybody? How are you? What's up? What's up? What's up? I don't even know if this thing, I put like a video. I don't know if y'all saw the video. It's supposed to be playing a video. But anyway, hey, everybody, how are you doing? Hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving or holiday or day off or however it is that you spent it. And if you're going to see me looking to my right today or my left, however you're looking at it, it's because I'm looking at my notes because I took notes today so I could keep on track because I like to talk. And so I'll go off track. But here's why I'm on here today because I have been quiet. Hey, everybody, say hello. Let me know. I'm going to put the comments up so that I can see you all talking to me on my comments. Let me find what the heck I'm looking for real quick. Where did I put it? Lord, I lost the page that I was looking for. Anyway, hey, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, listen, the reason that I'm on here today is I've been a little bit quiet. Hey, Odell, my favorite. I love you, Odell. And I'm glad that you're on here because you're just a badass speaker, too. But the reason that I'm on here is because I've been a little quiet lately. Right. And a lot of that is because I have been doing my own like reflection and introspection and figuring out what the heck I want to do. But I woke up this morning with a fire in my belly and a message in my spirit. And the message was from my spirit. And what my spirit said to me was that I am playing small and that I need to stop playing small. Right. And the spirit also said to me, you need to show people who you are. You got to stop playing games, right? You got to let them know. You got to show them, right? You got to show them who you are. You have to let them see your greatness. And the reason Spirit was telling me this is because Spirit said that your gift is not for you. I was like, whoa. Whoa, right? Because we're always talking about our gifts and how we need to leverage our gifts. And what Spirit wanted me to understand this morning is that you are gifted. You are gifted, and your gift is not for you. It is for you to share with the world, right? And if you know me at all, you know me well. One thing that you'll know about me is that I'm obedient, and I am very obedient to my spirit. And when my spirit says move, I move, right? And I'm gonna tell you all about my spirit. And as my good friend, Precious Williams, the killer pitch master, always says, she always says, let me keep it a buck with you, right? And so let me keep it a buck with you about how my spirit really gave me this message. What my spirit said was, she didn't just say, you need to show people who you are. What she said was, you need to show people who the fuck you are. And yes, she cusses sometimes. My spirit cusses sometimes, and so do I. And listen, I understand if it offends you, I get it. But I believe that people get to show up as who they are. And sometimes I cuss, sometimes my spirit cusses. And my spirit said, I need to show up here today and I need to tell y'all who the fuck I am, right? And show you. So, being obedient, I'm here. So, let's get into it. So I'm going to talk to you about 4 things. 1, I'm going to tell you who I am. 2, I'm going to tell you what I do and why I do it. 3, I'm going to tell you who I do it for. And 4, I'm going to tell you how we could do it together. So if you're a speaker, if you're an expert, if you've ever thought about, I need to leverage my expertise in some way to speak on stages, or you've been speaking on stages and you're not getting paid, then you need to hang out with me for a little bit, right? I'm going to try not to be on here too long. And like I said, I got my notes over here, so I'm going to try to keep on track. But this is really, really important for me to do, for me, and because I need to be obedient to the spirit, and because I think it will release somebody else, right? Especially the message about your gift not being for you. So who am I? Who is this crazy woman out here talking to you? And why should you listen to me? If you listen, watch my videos, been on my master classes, my virtual events, whatever it is, been in my community, you know that I usually just tell you that I'm an attorney, a retired attorney. I've been a speaker. I'm an author, a podcast host, magazine publisher, but I'm going to tell you the real about me and who I am when I say that I'm an attorney, right? Because I think people kind of get it twisted a little bit about what that means. It's not just that I'm an attorney. I was a trial attorney, and not just any trial attorney. I was a badass trial attorney, right? I practiced law since 1995 until I retired in 2019. And I was a trial attorney. And if you know what that means, you know that that takes some work, that takes guts, that takes brains, that takes ability, that takes skill, right? And as a trial attorney, I was licensed in Florida. I still am licensed in Florida, Georgia, and the US Virgin Islands. I tried cases in federal and state courts in front of judges, in front of juries. I've tried almost 100 cases. Most of them I was lead counsel. I've written and argued more motions than I can even care to count, right? So when you talk about somebody who knows how to communicate a message, whether it's to a jury, whether it's to a judge, your girl knows how to do it, right? Your girl's been doing it for years and years and years. And it's not just about a message, it's about being an advocate and being able to shift. Have you ever been on jury duty? I wish I have been. Like, I've never been on jury duty because they won't pick me. But I know that jurors are a tough set of people, right? Y'all are a tough set of people. And I was a defense attorney. So I don't care what the law says about, innocent until proven guilty. I was a public defender when I started, or, in civil court, there's no liability until, they prove that there is. Listen, I was on the defense. So on the defense, you always know that you have a tough road to go, right? You really have a tough place to be because you're in here. They're already thinking, well, you got sued or you got arrested, so you must have done something, right? So I have a hill that I have to climb. So what did I have to do? Inside of that, I had to be able to communicate messages that not only intrigue them so they'll listen to me, but also transform their ideas about my clients and shift their perspective so that it's not like, okay, we already know, we just gonna find you guilty or find you liable because you're on the defense, you did something, or try to find some reason to justify their thoughts. So here I am having to communicate messages to them, right? And I communicated those messages through opening statements. I did that through closing arguments. I did that in the way that I would question witnesses, right, on cross-examination, or direct my witnesses on direct examination. And so my entire life as a trial attorney was about communicating messages, advocating on behalf of people, making sure that I was able to transform people, right? To believe what I was saying, right? To get the value of what I was saying so that, hey, Barbara, hey, Iris, so that they would, rule in favor of my client. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. But you know what I do know? That every time that I stood up in that courtroom, every time that I conveyed that message that I had to put together, that I had to develop, that I had to write, that I had to craft, right? I know that it hit the jury, even if they didn't rule in my favor. And how do I know that? Because I had jurors who would wait for me after my trials. They would be out there for an hour or so after my trial waiting for me so that they could tell me how much I impacted them, right? As an attorney, I had them send me emails, like we don't give them our email addresses. So they had to go find my email address and email me to tell me these things, right? So it's really, really important for you to understand that when I say to you that I'm a trial attorney, and when I say to you, I coach speakers to help you figure out your message, right? You're not just talking to somebody who just like decided today that I'm going to do this. I've been doing this for a long, long time, right? I have been doing this for a long time. So listen, the other thing, when the pandemic, so I told you I retired in 2019 as a trial attorney. and decided I was going to go full force into being an entrepreneur in 2020 as a professional speaker. And what do we know happened then? The pandemic, right? So here it is. I decide January 2020, I'm going to become a professional speaker. And COVID was like, wait, sis, not so fast, right? And so when that happened, so many speakers like just went scattering. So many speakers were like, they closed their businesses. They didn't know what to do. They don't know how to pivot. They don't want all the things, right? But you know who didn't? You know who didn't panic? Me, right? Because I knew that I had a message. And then in May of 2020, George Floyd was murdered. And immediately I knew that I had the expertise to move that message, right? To do something with that message. And so I was probably one of the very first people, if not the first person, to start this whole thing about listening sessions, right? Because within, I think, 2 days of us really knowing about his murder, I did a Zoom meeting where I was like, listen, you have questions? Then come. You have questions and you come. And really, I reached out to white people. I'm just going to say, tell the truth and shame the devil. I said, white people, if you want to talk to somebody about these issues, come. I will talk to you, right? So I did that first, quote unquote, listening session, and then got asked to do more and more of those listening sessions. And in 2020 and 2021, spent most of my time doing these listening sessions and training inside of corporations and training employees on unconscious bias and bystander intervention and courageous conversations. I mean, I was hired as one of the people along with Dr. Janetta Cole, to do Raymond James's first town hall on racism, right? And then I got hired by the Tampa International Airport and also by eBay to do these same types of things, right? There's a reason why I was able to do that. And I'm going to tell you that in just a second. But I really, really want you all to get an understanding that when you see me show up, when you see me speaking about speaking, when you see me speaking about coaching speakers and mentoring speakers, you're not talking to somebody who just decided that today I was going to get up and say I'm a speaker and, here, let me tell you what's going on. No, in the midst of the pandemic, I built a multi-six-figure speaking business sitting right here, just like I'm talking to you inside this box. So I know what I'm talking about, right? So the things that you hear from me will never be theory. It's not theory. It's not things I read on Google. It's things I've done. It is wisdom. It is the wisdom of having been in this business of speaking, of communicating, of sharing messages, of understanding value, of understanding how to communicate, of understanding how to shift people, of understanding how to transform audiences, right? That's who you're talking to, me, right? Kelly Nicole Hamilton Charles Collins, my whole government name. Yes, that's who you're talking to, right? And so that's what I want you to know. So when you hear somebody, anybody, right, talking about, coaches, and I need a coach who's going to help me craft my message or whatever. If there's anybody out there who could do that and anybody out there who should be doing that, it's me. And so I'm going to claim my space right here, right? I'm going to claim the space. I'm going to claim that I'm the person who is talented, gifted, qualified to be able to help you as a speaker to get that message out into the world, right? So why am I doing this? Why? Because I could just speak, right? I still speak, right? I still get hired by corporations to speak. So I could just go speak. So why is it that I want to help you all? Why do I want to help other speakers? And the reason I want to help other speakers is because I've realized inside of this business, as much experience and expertise that I have, that I still have people who come at me about speaking for free. Now, I always talk about, when you speak for free, when you don't. You can go look at videos about that. I'm not going to talk about that today. But it is the thing when I think about it, especially as a Black woman, and I see how Black women are treated as speakers, it is something that has really gotten on my nerves. I'm just going to say it. It has gotten on my nerves. It has gotten under my skin. And the reason is because I believe that not paying speakers, especially Black women speakers, part of the reason is to erase our value, right? And I'm not about that life. I'm not about to sit here and allow people's values to be erased if there's something that I can do about it, if there's something that I can do to help change that, right? So here's the thing. Because of that, I started a company called Speaker Moguls. And again, if you've been on my master classes, et cetera, I tell you that where the money resides in speaking is at the intersection between the business of speaking and the speaker brand, right? At that intersection is where the money resides. The problem is that many of you, so yes, there's in the industry, there's a whole thing about not paying speakers, but there's also a personal responsibility around the reason that you're not getting paid as a speaker. And that's because you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know how to communicate that message out into the world. And part of that's your fault, and part of it's not. Because there's lots of coaches and lots of people out here telling you, all you got to do is share your story. Just go share your story. Just go tell the people. Yes, that's a great story. You got something to talk about. All right. I need you to lean in, turn down everything you got on so I could tell you this part. Nobody cares about your story. I know. You'll probably be mad, right? And some people don't ask for speaking fees. Absolutely, right? I know you might be mad about that. Nobody cares about your story. Here's what I mean. Nobody is going to be paying you 5 and 6 figures just for you to tell your story. They don't care about your childhood trauma. They don't care about your divorce. They don't care about the time that you lost your job, right? None of that matters to them. What they care about is how you are going to transform their life. They care about what you're going to do in the time that they are sitting here with you, the time that they'll never get back. How is it that you're going to do something that is going to impact their life, transform their life, shift their perspective, right? So here's the thing. It's not that your story doesn't matter. It's that your story is only a small part of what matters. If you want to be a speaker who is highly paid, a speaker who's paid 5 and 6 figures to go out there and share your message with the world, you got to have a message, right? A whole ass message that includes a story. And here's another clutch your pearls moment. A lot of the stories that people are telling you that you need to go tell, or you think that you need to tell, is not the story you need to tell. I'm just telling you. It's not, right? Because we think this traumatic story or this thing that we've been carrying around our whole life that we just want to tell to the world and we want to share with everybody in the world is the thing that people really care about. And for some of you, that's not the story, right? Some of you, it is the story, but you don't know how to tell that story and incorporate that story into a message that gives value to the audience, right? And so you have a lot of coaches. They're great coaches in what they do. You have a lot of coaches talking about, I'm going to teach you your story. You just got to share your story. You got to monetize your message. But again, what are you monetizing? You cannot monetize a 3-minute story. Nobody's paying you 5 and 6 figures to tell them a story for 3 minutes. That 3 minutes has to be incorporated into a larger message. 15 minutes, 45 minutes, 60-minute keynote, a 2-hour workshop, a 1-day workshop, right? A 3-month consulting contract, whatever it is. But that 3-minute story cannot be expanded across that whole time frame in order to give somebody value. So you have to have a message. So when they tell you to monetize your message and the message that they've helped you create is 3 minutes, I promise you that you will not make 5 and 6 figures from that 3-minute message. Now, you might get paid to get on somebody's stage, but you're not going to make the money. You're not going to become a highly paid, sought after speaker. What you have to do is craft an entire talk that involves that message, that story, and maybe other stories, right? And so it bothers me. It bothers me that I hear people talking about just share your story. Oh, just go get on stage. That's backwards. Being a highly paid, sought after speaker requires more than just getting on stage and telling a 3-minute story. If you have nothing to sell to people, if you have nothing to get, hey, if you have nothing to get on the stage and talk about, who's going to pay you to just be on stage? And being on stage as a professional speaker, whether that's a live stage, right, in person, or it's a virtual stage, it's a very minute portion of what we do. It is a very small portion of what you do. The rest of it is really building your value and marketing and having an offer and selling that offer. And you know what your offer is as a speaker? It's your talk. It is a whole talk. It is a talk with which you can use and leverage to write a book, go do a course, or build a coaching program, to have a sales call with a potential client, so that when they're asking you questions, you're able to answer, that you're not sitting there like, oh my God, I didn't anticipate that they were going to ask me this question. I can't believe they asked me this. I don't know the answer to that. How am I supposed to answer that? I don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean? What's the value? What do you mean? I need learning outcomes. What's that? You want an abstract? What the heck is an abstract? I don't know what you're talking about. They're not teaching you that when they teach you about your 3-minute story. But that is what it takes. Those understanding benefits and consequences and transformation and value and all the things, these are the things that it takes in order for you to be able to submit a proposal to a client for 6 figures, 4 or 5 figures, and not blink an eye and know that they're going to get what they paid for. And that you can communicate, not only communicate that value, but you can also deliver on that value, right? So it's not enough for you to just tell your story. It's not enough for you to just, for people to just gas you up and be like, girl, that's, oh my God, I love that story. Oh, you have to tell that. Listen, you have a testimony. You have a testimony that you need to go share with the world. You might. And you might have a testimony that you can share with the world that people will pay to listen to. Or you might have one that people will be like, oh, that's nice. I'm so glad you shared that with me. I don't know about you, but if I'm going to make speaking a business, I want to be in the first line, right? Where people are going to pay me for my message. So when you hear people telling you about monetizing your message, you need to figure out what message are they telling you to monetize. Because you can't monetize foolishness. You can't monetize something that doesn't exist. You can't monetize something that you can't explain. Right? You can't monetize something that's not going to transform other people. It's just like any business, right? Why do people buy products? Why do people buy services? Because they're looking for transformation. As a speaker, you're a product. Your talk is a product, right? And so you have to understand that. So listen, I've been thinking about this, and like I said, I've been really quiet and just really thinking about what is it that I want to do in this space? How is it that I want to show up for people in this space? And who is it that I want to show up for in this space? Right? And so this past week, one of the things that I have had to work on is I'm in the Babson Women Entrepreneurship Leadership Program. And one of the things that they have us doing is working on our pitch deck, right? That's one of the exercises that we have to do. And so inside of that, obviously we have to talk about, what is the problem we solve? What is our solution? Who are our clients? Who are the people that we want to really help? And I keep saying, I want to help speakers. I want to help speakers. And oftentimes you'll hear me say, I want to help women speakers. And if I'm being completely transparent, who I really want to help is Black women speakers. Yes, I want to help speakers. I want to help speakers in terms of getting speakers paid. But you know who I want to really, really help? I want to really work with women who look like me, women who are experts, women who know their shit, right? Women who understand that there is power in their profession. There is excellence in their expertise, and that they should make bank for their brilliance, right? That's who I want to work with. I am in a season. I have decided, y'all. Y'all know at the end of the year, y'all like to pick words and what's your word for the year, and I never do it. But I've decided that I'm in a season of curation and not collection. And that means that I'm going to curate who I work with, whether it's me as a professional speaker or it's me as a mentor to speakers. I'm going to curate what I do in my life. I'm going to curate how I do it. I'm going to curate how I show up on the social media or not. I am really in a season of curation. I am not going to be about collection. And I'm going to be very, very specific and picky about who I do what for, because life is short, right? And one of my favorite poems is The Dash. And so I'm always thinking about, what is my legacy? What will people say about me when I'm gone? And so I got to do what brings me joy. And what brings me joy is to help women win. What brings me extreme joy is to help my sisters win, right? Black women speakers. Now, listen, any speaker can apply to do anything that I'm doing, but you're going to hear me call out Black women speakers. Y'all can be mad about it, or you can realize that it's focus and not exclusion, right? And it's about curation and not collection. So, how do I do what I do? The focus for me going into 2023 is going to be about your message, because it is the thing that is going to get you paid. Without it, you will not get paid. Without it, it doesn't matter that you built a business. Without it, it doesn't matter that you built some type of brand. All of those things, that business, that speaker business, and that speaker brand, need to be built around this message. They need to be congruent. They need to be in alignment. And so the way that I teach speakers, the way that I work with speakers, is through what I call my signature talk experience. You've seen this thing scrolling across the bottom. You can go sign up, but I'm telling you about it. So the signature talk experience is a 2-day, 2 or 3 day. Right now we're testing out 3 days. We've done it for 2 days. We're going to test it for 3 days and see which one actually, gives you the best value. It's an immersive, hands-on experience. What does that mean? That I am there with you. You are going to craft your signature talk. I'm going to help you. We're going to co-create your signature talk. And it's not that I'm going to tell you, okay, let's just come up with a opening paragraph and let's do these 3 points in the middle, or do your story in the middle, and then we have a conclusion. That is not how a talk is created. At least not one that you really want to monetize. Right there, I have an entire framework. It's called the Signature Talk Black Print, and we work through that Black Print. I just did this with 8 speakers in November. It is an amazing experience. I don't know if any of them are on here. If you're on here, if anyone's on here who did Signature Talk, would you pipe in and I'll put your comment up and let people know. But in that Signature Talk experience, we are going to work on your talk from beginning to end. When you leave this talk, when you leave this experience, you'll be able to deliver your talk, right? So tell them how it was, right? You'll be able to deliver part of your talk. And when I tell you that these 8 people who were at the Signature Talk experience, it's not that they came in there with the talk and I was helping them to revise it. Like we crafted their talks. And some of them, like I said, y'all thought that, you think that your stories and whatever is the thing that you're supposed to be talking about. And by the time they got there, they realized that that's not what they're supposed to be talking about. That's not what you're supposed to be talking about. You got to figure out where your power lies. You got to figure out where where your expertise is deep, 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 and where you can be different. What I call your unfactor. That's where the power lies, right? In being a speaker. That's where the power lies in being a highly paid and sought after speaker. And so in the Signature Talk experience, we make sure that we work with you to understand that, to really develop that. So I'm going to put this comment on here. It says it's a very extensive and in-depth experience that really gets to the core of who you are, and it helped today in a sales conversation. So it's not just the talk, but everything around it, so you can sell it. That's not me saying that, right? That's one of my. I think this is Janae. Tell me if it's Janae, right? One of my clients. So listen, if you are a speaker that is not getting paid, and listen, you know that you have an expertise. If you're an expert and you're like, listen, it's time for me to leverage this expertise to make some money, right? When I retired from the practice of law, I was like, I am going to leverage my profession to pursue my purpose, which I believe, right, is to be the light for others to stand in their greatness. Janae says she needs to add herself so y'all can see her name. Yes, Janae Murphy, and she's amazing. And Janae is also in the Speaker Moguls Academy. How we have the academy now, we're actually going to change that, but she's in the academy now. So I've been working with her for months, and I am so proud of what she's accomplished and what she's going to be accomplishing. So listen, if this is you, if you're like, yes, Kelly, I know that I need a message that I can monetize, right? Then you need to be at the Signature Talk experience, right? You need to go all in. You need to invest in yourself. I'm there with you. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing I want y'all to understand, and why I told y'all about me being an attorney also is because as an attorney and the legal skills and the legal expertise that I have, here's some things about me that you may not know, right? I listen like nobody's business. I hear things that other people don't hear. I ask questions that other people can't ask or won't ask, right? I can analyze what you're saying and reframe in the moment on a dime like nobody else can. And yes, I'm saying all these things, and it's actually counter to the way I was raised, right? Because I'm Jamaican. So anyone out here is Jamaican, y'all know we're not supposed to be out here just bragging, but it ain't bragging if it's true, right? And so inside of being in that experience with me, this is not like the process. What I'll tell you is that we use a process, right? The Signature Talk Black Print is a process. The process is the same for everybody. The results are not, because we are crafting your message, not everybody's message, your message. And when I am there, my sister Lisa is who's a peak performance coach, also is works with me in the experience. And we have a higher level of listening than most people, right? So if any of you have been in Landmark Education, she was a head coach and lead program lead for Landmark, right? So you know that she really has a level of listening, right? And being able to help you to transform. And inside of the experience, the both of us are there, and we're working with you, and we're asking you the questions, and we're not going to stop until we get you to the answer. We're not going to stop until we get you to the place where you feel powerful and are able, Janae says, Lisa is amazing, and get you to the point where you feel powerful enough to communicate this message and powerful enough to be able to say to somebody, yeah, and you're going to pay me 5 to 6 figures for this message, right? So if you are serious, if you're ready to do the work, if you're ready to invest, yes, because it costs money. If you're ready to invest, then you need to go to signaturetalkexperience.com and just go sign up. We got 2 dates coming in January. One is virtual, and then one is live in person here in Orlando. We already have 2 people signed up for that one. So listen, We keep it small because we want to make sure that you get a customized experience, that we're really able to talk to you and to help you get through what it is that you need to get through, so that when you leave, you do have your talk crafted, right? And the signature talk experience, there's that first part, right? That event is the immersion part where we're like in it and we're doing the work, right? And after that, there's an opportunity to what I call momentum. For 3 months, 90 days, I'll mentor you so that we can make sure that we refine this talk and that we create the offer that you need to go out there and pitch, right? And for those of you who are like, yeah, but I just want you could do signature talk VIP experience, just me, you, Lisa, and we will craft this talk with you with nobody else there, right? So you have options. What you don't have an option to do is say that you want to be a six-figure speaker and then do nothing about it, right? Say that you want to be on the stage and communicate your message, and that there's a message that you have to put out in the world and people want to hear, and not do what it takes to craft the right message, right? My whole goal in life, for anybody who works with me, anybody who's in my circle, for people that I care about, is to ensure that you show up powerfully wherever you are. And I will do my part. But you have to do your part, because I ain't kicking and screaming and dragging nobody to their victory. Just ain't doing that. But I will ride with you. I will answer your questions. I will review your stuff. I will help you as long as you have made the decision and are committed. I did a whole video the other day about the difference between desire and commitment. A lot of you desire to make money as a speaker. A lot of you desire to be on stages. A lot of you desire for somebody to pay you 5 and 6 figures to speak. But a lot of you are not committed to doing what it takes to do that. You're not committed, right? Because the minute somebody tells you, great, I can help you. I know that I can help you. And you know that that person can help you. But the minute that person says, and that help, that support, that accountability, that transference of skills, that up-leveling of your skills is going to cost you money, and that money includes a comma, all of a sudden, that desire is not so great, right? That desire is not great enough to go to commitment. So, as I said, I'm in a year of curation. So, if you're ready, I'm ready. If you think you have a message and an expertise, let's talk, right? You can go straight to the Signature Talk experience, or December 6th through the 8th, I'm doing an event. I'm going to drop it in here. I'm doing an event, $67, 3-day live virtual event, getpaidtospeaknow.com. You can go there and register. Right, Janae, exactly. Janae says the investment, let me put it up here. She says the investment will hold you accountable while doing the work. Yes. And the more you pay, the more you pay attention. Right? Because if you're paying me tens of thousands of dollars and you're just like, well, I'm just going to throw that money away. It's not like the $20 a month to go to the gym, which we all throw away, me included, right? And be like, yeah, I'm not going. It's $20. It's $9.99 at whatever that 24-hour fitness or whatever it is, right? But if you're paying tens of thousands of dollars, or if you're paying 4 figures and 5 figures, right, to a coach, oh, you're going to do the work. And those are the people I want to work with. Those are the people, the committed people, right, that I'm going to curate and ensure that I give you all that I have to get you where you need to go, right? So this is, if you're like, Kelly, I'm not sure, go to getpaidspeaknow.com and you can sign up for my 3-day event. But if you know No, I need the message. And Kelly, I know that you're the person, right? Because I'm called to certain people. I'm not called to everybody. I am called to certain people. And you know if you're my assignment. You know. And if you know that you're my assignment, then just go to signaturetalkexperience.com and sign up and let's get you going. If you still like, I'm not so sure, then go to getpaidtospeaknow.com. But only get on my calendar or only get in my DMs or only be, if you're serious, if you're committed, if you're ready to move from desire to commitment. That's the year of curation for me, right? So I told y'all, this is what was dropped in my spirit. I have a fire in my belly. I am ready to do what I need to do to execute on the vision that has been placed on my life, which is to ensure that Black women, experts, speakers, that their value is not erased. And if you're ready to be on that mission, then reach out to me. Either do it through signaturetalkexperience.com, getpaidtospeaknow.com. You got a question, you can DM me, right? But really make a decision. Make a decision about your life. I've made decisions about my life, right? How I'm going to show up next year in terms of my own speaking and what it is that I am willing and committed to doing to helping you. And as I said before, when you hear me talk about Black women speakers, that's a focus of mine. Does it mean that if you are a non-Black woman speaker and you want to know how to do your signature talk, that I'm not going to work with you and I'm not going to give you every single thing that I have? No, that doesn't mean that. You are also welcome. If you are a speaker who is committed, a speaker who wants to turn their expertise into profits, a speaker who understands that having a crafted signature talk, customized signature talk, is the way to get you to becoming a highly paid, sought after speaker, you are welcome in my space. I will give you every single thing that I have, and I will share with you every single thing that I know to get you where you can go. And it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're male. I don't care if you're female. I don't care if you identify in some other way. If you are a speaker or an expert who is committed to turning your expertise into profits, and understand that the way to get there is by crafting a signature talk so that you can become a highly paid, sought after speaker, then I'm the mentor for you. And so you can go to signaturetalkexperience.com and just be all in and let's get it done, right? Or you can start by coming and hanging out with me for 3 days, December 6th through 8th at the Get Paid to Speak Now 3-day live virtual event. So that's it, y'all. That was what was in my spirit today. And Spirit told me I had to tell you, and I'm obedient to Spirit, my Spirit, because she don't play. And so I just wanted to share that with you all as I go off and just step into my own greatness, right? And help you to step into yours. So if you have any questions, reach out. If you're ready to go to signaturetalkexperience.com. If you're like, I'm not really sure, but I think so, go to getpaidtospeaknow.com. I'm curating the people who have been assigned to me, and I cannot wait to help you step into your own greatness and become a highly paid, sought after speaker and a true speaker mogul. So have an amazing day, y'all. Take care.